You are listening to the Beaverton, North America's trusted source of news.
This week on the Beaverton, Trump says the U.S. government is likely to shut down, but don't worry, essential services like deporting refugees, bombing people in boats near Venezuela, and sending the National Guard into Democratic-run cities will continue. WestJet announces economy seats will no longer recline, but you'll be able to pay for upgrades like reclining seats and for the captain not to spit in your face as you board. Canada's Department of Defense spent at least $1.28 million on King Charles' overnight trip to Ottawa. I don't have a joke here, that's just something to remember when you're walking through a blizzard to a community mailbox to check your mail. That's right, it's time to make fun of the news once again on the Beaverton Weekly Report. Welcome to the show, everyone. So glad you are tuning in. I'm your host, Luke Gorenfield, and joining me this week are three of our regular panelists, all of whom just got back from performing at the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. Nile Seguin, Megan MacKay, and Clare Blackwood. Welcome, all three of you.
I just wish that we got paid for it, right?
You were on a Brigger show?
Wait, you guys got paid?
I did not. I volunteered.
I got to take home my handcuffs.
I believe in freedom of speech.
They didn't let Megan and I speak.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the important thing is comedians are the last truth tellers and the poets of the 21st century, and also we will do anything for a
money.
few $1,000s and a free flight.
Yeah, just don't mention the slaves.
Or say anything against the royal family, like how they butchered a journalist very recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was going to be my opener.
What is the deal? What's the deal with suitcases?
With bone sauce.
You ever try and get a body into a suitcase?
This Hitman, Jerry Seinfeld, is that the character you all created at once?
All right, I'll switch it up. If you've ever tried to get a bone saw through a bone, you might be in Saudi Arabia.
If you stage a comedy festival to cover up your horrific crimes, you might be. All right.
Although credit to Foxworthy, he didn't go, so you know you got to give him something. He's not on the bill. He's just like, I got some principles. I'll just do another you might be a redneck joke and not kill anyone. That's fun too. Yes, so we're all here. We're back. We got off our flights very recently, and you know the live podcast of the Beaverton Weekly Report in Saudi Arabia went great. That'll be out next week.
We're actually recording from Saudi Arabia.
Yes, true. You can't hear the crowd because they're all very muted by our admission.
They've been taken care of.
Yes. So thank you all for being here. We are there's much to cover. I want to talk with a story that, you know, we're in an interesting time because this might be the biggest thing ever, and this might, you know, the last couple of years, and this might be a complete fizzle out. This didn't happen by the time this episode comes out. Who's to say? But I want to talk about it because, you know, this is a potential end to the war that has been raging since October 7th, 2023. There is a possible deal to end the war/genocide in Gaza. The U.S. and Israel have essentially announced the terms and are, you know, waiting on Hamas, as they say, which probably is more likely to mean like they're very directly threatening Hamas, like accept this or we'll bomb you again. Details of the plan include the withdrawal of Israeli forces, release of the hostages, of course, no annexation, release of Palestinian prisoners, and Hamas can never be a part of the government of Gaza going forward. Trump also made Netanyahu, call the PM of Qatar and apologize for the strike they launched against Hamas leadership when they were negotiating the deal, or a different deal, I should say. How do you think that call went? Like, sorry for bombing you. We'll probably do it again.
Yeah, I think it was just that. Like, we're so sorry we illegally bombed you. We totally won't do it again.
And then the other lines, you know, I can tell you don't mean it, right? No, I mean it. Like, that was the entire call. It was just a back and forth, like, no, seriously, whatever, I mean it or whatever.
Yeah, it was so
You
sorry.
don't, I can tell.
I can hear you speaking in air quotes.
It's a Zoom.
Yeah, my favorite was they revealed that like Trump was on the line while the call was made, and I was like, yeah, he was muffling his laughter, like when you do a prank call and your buddy is on the line, he's like, dude, shut up, you're gonna ruin it. Shut up.
Amazing.
Yeah, so the obvious concern is, other than obviously that Hamas rejects this and the situation just continues as it has been, is that Israel, because one of the key terms that Israel insisted on and that Trump kind of imposed on the Arab leaders who agreed to this deal, is that, you know, the second it is announced, basically, Hamas has like 72 hours, I think, to release all the hostages living in deceased, which, again, don't get me wrong, great to release the hostages. The concern would be as soon as they get the hostages, Israel will then break the ceasefire and resume their attacks on Hamas, in air quotes, Palestinians in reality. So that's the big concern. And then so people were worried about that. And then just a few hours before we recorded, Netanyahu put out a video in Hebrew, which is the key distinction, because with Israeli officials in English, they're like, we want peace and prosperity for all. And in Hebrew, they're like the Mad King in Game of Thrones, being like, burn them, burn them. So like he put out a video in Hebrew essentially confirming that, where he's like, the main thing we got is that we're going to get the hostages back before we leave. And he didn't say 100% like, we're going to stay, but very clearly implied it. And now, is he lying to the world, or is he lying to the hardliners back home in Israel and trying to get them to fall in line here? I don't know, and no one really knows. The history of this conflict suggests that Israel will break ceasefires left and right whenever they want to. So that's obviously the suspicion. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the plan would call for, as I mentioned, no Hamas in charge of Gaza. The plan would call for Gaza to be run by kind of an international executive committee. Do you know which Middle East expert the U.S. is proposing lead this executive committee?
I hate that I do, but go ahead.
It's got to be confirmed gamer Jared Kushner, owner of EA. Jared Kushner. It's in the sports, baby. EA Sports.
He's going to turn Gaza into his own personal Sims.
He can crush the Sims. Now he's going to crush the real life Sims in a way we don't love. That's what's going to happen. He's going to take the ladder out of that swimming pool. It's not going to be good. Get it, Kush.
That's a great Sims reference for those.
Thank you.
Excellent. Sadly, not Jared Kushner.
Sadly.
And you know what? Kind of sadly. The real answer is kind of worse.
Kind of worse. Well, it's not kind of worse, but it's just more baffling.
Yeah, it's so. Do you want to say
Tony Blair?
Tony fucking Blair is going to be in charge of Gaza.
Like, I understand Kushner being a part of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that makes sense to me. They're already going to try to turn Gaza into, I think they called it in the plan, like New Gaza, and they've already put out their AI-generated videos of Trump and Elon having margs on the beach with Netanyahu, and but Tony Blair?
He probably doesn't even play Fortnite.
He has teabagged people, though.
Oh, God, yeah, back at Eton. It's one of those ones that is so in your face offensive. To say Tony Blair, it's like, do we have any other people responsible for the deaths of millions available? Like, was Idi Amin not around? Like, what? Tony Blair, this is a person who, along with Bush, lied through his teeth to start a war that killed 1 million people in this region. And the fact that he has spent his public service years like essentially going around the world whoring himself out as a Middle East expert to businesses and to countries that need an envoy there. It's insane. It's like if the guy who designed the Hindenburg was like, I've just started a blimp consulting program, and anyone who wants to make blimps needs to pay me $1 million to consult on the blimps. And it's like, okay, but this didn't go very well last time. Now Trump's put that man in charge of all blimps in the Middle East.
How is he supposed to know hydrogen's flammable? He didn't know.
He's just a widow guy.
He's just a little birthday boy. It's his birthday, Luke. Leave him alone.
I mean, it was his birthday the whole Iraq War. Every day was his birthday.
I mean, kind of.
He acted like it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was so delighted the whole time, that him and George W. were just best of friends, the two best friends that ever committed war crimes together.
See, this is what happened. The male loneliness is an issue. This is what happens. Wars happen because that fucking guy doesn't have friends. And he was like, oh, maybe Bush will be my friend. And then carnage.
And it's all women's fault.
No, it's not. We got to nip it in the bud. We got to give these kids, we got to give these boys some social skills.
Yeah. Is the solution to the male loneliness epidemic lying about nuclear arms in a foreign country as a pretense to evade?
That is what happens. I'm so lonely. I'm going to lie about weapons of mass destruction.
An icebreaker's an icebreaker. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? Everyone at that UN after Colin Powell gave that big speech, it seemed like they all really got to know each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, I mean, I'm not an expert in this. I read through the 20, points of the deal, and it just seems, and obviously we want an end to the war.
Yes,
absolutely. Number one point. Want the conflict to stop. But it also just seems like something that Hamas is never going to agree to. And it's also just so patronizing towards Gaza. Like I recorded this quote that it said, as the ISF, which is it's like the thing that Tony Blair is going to be a part of, right? It's like this outside group who's going to be taking over the Gaza, essentially, controlling it for a while until they find their own government. I think that's what it is.
I mean, I didn't know the acronym, but I think that's the general
like
sense.
Security Foundation or something like that. And it was like, as it establishes control and stability, the Israeli Defense Forces will withdraw based on standards, milestones, and timeframes linked to demilitarization that will be agreed upon between the IDF, the ISF, the guarantors, and the United States, with the objective of a secure Gaza that no longer poses a threat to Israel, Egypt, or its citizens. Like it did before. Like it's all, none of it's in their hands.
Yeah, it's
all, we're going to do it on our timeline. What does that even mean? What is the timeline? Like, it's just, I don't know.
I completely agree. It's whatever, the end result of this almost certainly is, even in the best case scenario where this happens, the hostages are returned, Palestinian prisoners who have been unjustly imprisoned, which some of them, you're right, which there are many, are returned to their families. Even in that dream scenario and the war ends, there is almost certainly going to be a level of control over Palestinians that no other, as far as I'm aware, real population in the world is subjected to. The idea that they are not in charge of their own destiny. I mean, they were already under such strict controls. They had no access to the sea, no access to the West Bank. Like, there was already such limitations put in place. And obviously this would just be incredibly more. They don't have their own government. They can't ever have an army under any circumstances, including in the West Bank. It's a level of, infantilization, I guess. Like, it's treating Palestinians as if, like, we'll stop killing you if you just agree to live under our thumb forever.
Yeah, and we're also going to turn Gaza kind of into this weird corporation.
Yeah.
Like, I have no joke for this. It's just incredibly frustrating.
No, I mean, there's certain things that are dark, and they just are dark, and we just got to live with them. And all that being said, I think after nearly 2 years of this, I'm at a point, and obviously what I think doesn't matter, but what I'm at a point where I'm just like, I mean, anything to get the killing to stop.
That's exactly my response. I'm like, okay, look, let's just stop, and then we'll start from there. We'll work from there. Something.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, like, yeah.
Yeah, hope that in some scenario where we can get to a level where people are just not being blown to bits every single day, that we can get to a point where there's still enough pressure on Israel to actually have some kind of independent Palestinian state. Even though, yet again, of course, Netanyahu made it very clear in Hebrew when he was doing his Hebrew message, we will never agree to that. That will never happen. Don't worry. People back home, we will never allow a Palestinian state. So even though, maybe in a dream scenario, there's a change of government in Israel, a very strong change in opinion in Israel, because they seem to be very opposed to that, and will keep electing people who are opposed to that. But, that's the dream scenario. The question I want to ask you guys is, let's say Trump pulls this off and gets Hamas to agree to it, and there is an actual period of stability. Does that fundamentally change how you view Donald Trump?
No.
Should it? It's been a decade of that circus. Should we be like, oh, well, one clown took his nose off and everything's fine now. It's not a circus anymore. Like, no. I don't think so. But I don't know.
I don't think we can trust that he's doing any of this with a sound mind, or B, any sort of altruistic intentions.
Well, that's a good point. Do the intentions matter if the end result is good? When we're talking about a situation that was so bad, like we're talking about the worst, genocide that we've seen in decades, since Rwanda, probably. What are we, and him, again, I agree with everything you just said, and him potentially being the one who stopped it. Again, I know we're talking about hypotheticals here, but would that wouldn't, at least give him a couple points in your ledger? I
don't think it would give him points. I think it would just be like, that's a good thing you did, but it's not going to change fundamentally who I think you are as a person.
I also don't know that the stability is going to be terribly permanent, because you have to, from the perspective of the average Palestinian, like, you have this very condescending governing body coming in and being like, we're going to look after you now. And those, the vast majority of Palestinians are children, right? So they're going to grow up under this pseudo government that they have no say in, that, is arguably indirectly responsible for killing family members, friends, like entire community groups. Like, they're going to grow up, and there's a point where people are not going to want to live like that anymore. Like, it's essentially pseudo-authoritarian control. Like, I don't know how long this sort of brokering of peace is actually going to last. So I mean, if it lasts forever and Trump has fixed the Middle East, like, let's talk about it in 20 years, right? But, like, I don't
When
think...
Trump will still be alive.
And still president. Just his head on a fucking refrigerator. Not a robot, just a refrigerator for some reason.
One of the smart ones that show you ads now.
Exactly.
So, call me in 20 years. Maybe I'll give him credit at that point.
Fair enough.
I think for me, it would change how I see him in that it would make him like the Michael Jordan of gaslighting. Because I was like, I just watched the news. I'm always like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're just fucking throwing shit against the wall. You're keeping us distracted while you're just robbing the bank.
Yeah.
But then he does something useful, and now I'm like, oh my God. Now you're gaslighting me about what you're like. That's
Like,
next level. No one's done that.
Yeah,
no one's ever gonna do that.
Because there's a part of me that's just like, yeah, he's
What are
solving
you?
the problem in the world. He's doing it so he can build his little theme park and God, you know what I mean? Like,
Really? Like that's not enough of a motivation. I don't think to. What is he doing? What is he doing?
Assume
It's got to be something he's doing. I can't live with
I think
this
you'd
truth.
assume at a base level that everything Donald Trump does is motivated by greed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I
not-
agree with
what
Claire
is
that
it? No,
he's
it's-
going to get paid out of this, or Kushner is, and it's going to circumvent factors.
I just maybe I
But
can't see the
honestly-
money.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
but
think
honestly, that's in a weird way. You compare him to fanatics in Israel who are like, I want to kill everyone because this land belongs to us because it said it in the Bible or in the Torah, excuse me. That, all of a sudden greed becomes a far lesser sin. You know what I mean?
He also wants that NPP. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, yeah.
Big.
You got the MVP.
You want that
Can't be
NPP, baby.
No, if he wins, I'm not going to be okay. I'm going to take a knee. Is Nile ever come back? I don't know. I think he's just wandering the earth
Yeah, I
like
was gonna
Jules in Pulp Fiction.
he texted me just saying, I'm going to a cave.
He's just walking to the house of the people who decided in Norway, being like, I will get you.
And it's an earned Nobel Peace Prize. Like, what is this world? I was okay up until that point.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like
Up was up,
the one
down was down.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like the one Obama got 5 seconds after he was sworn in, and they were like, "We gave you the Nobel Peace Prize," and everyone's like, "For what?" I mean, it's cool that he won, but he got it like 3 months in. It's like he hadn't done anything yet.
He was a chill head.
What's that?
We liked it.
What's that dude from Nixon's administration? Am I getting that wrong?
Nixon?
I mean, what are
The guy who won.
Yes.
The guy was a monster.
Oh, Kissinger.
Did he win the Nobel Peace Prize?
Oh God, I hope not. I mean, he probably did. I mean, knowing how these
You
things
know what?
go, he
Let's just
probably
move
did.
on. Let's just
Yeah.
move on.
He got it for stopping the bombing of Cambodia that he started.
Like something in that
Yeah,
neighborhood.
probably. No, I mean, the world is so, my only little fun fact about the Nobel Prize, and then we'll segue into less grim territory, is Nobel was obviously a Swedish guy. He invented dynamite. You've seen Oppenheimer. But anyway, so like they award all the Nobel Prizes for various things, for science, for blah, blah, for economics and stuff. And that's all done in Sweden. But then they asked Norway to be the one who would award the Peace Prize, the Norwegian Congress or whatever, or Parliament, because Nobel decided that the Swedes were too militaristic.
Love it.
And so he was
Love
like,
it.
we can't
Love
be
it.
trusted to decide who is peaceful or not, so we need the Norwegians to come in.
Right.
And which is like probably historically a fair statement. Swedes were probably far more militant and violent, and Vikings and all that stuff.
I would have picked a colony. But if he wins the Nobel Peace Prize,
Okay, we're back to this.
I just gotta let this go. The Nobel Prize becomes the Oscars for me. I'm like, it means nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you guys are doing. I'm not watching. And let me tell you, I am locked every year.
Yeah, the pay-per-view is the bill is
It's
paid.
just me.
He's got a ballot. He's got a ballot filled out with what he thinks is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I described to Nobel Plus, the streaming site, just to watch the behind the scenes.
The after parties are fucking wild. There's so much cocaine.
You know they are.
Yeah.
Oh, you just know the Peace Prize winner and the Economics Prize winner are fucking, like, you just know it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, well,
Take that.
Well, turning to matters at home, the Canada Post strikes and cuts, I should say, before the strike. Mark Carney and his his cabinet have announced massive changes to Canada Post, including ending all Daily Mail delivery, closing a bunch of rural post offices, and moving all Canadian households to community mailboxes. I think currently about 4 to 6 million people still get their mail delivered, mostly in big cities, of course, like Toronto. The rationale is, of course, that Canada Post loses money every year. Why do we only talk about government losing money and some parts of the government needing to be profitable or more than others in only specific context. Like we never talk about how much the army lost last year. It's only things that give services to people, I guess. Like what?
The army doesn't lose money, Luke. It makes so many freedom dollars.
Which are redeemable at any
giant tiger near you.
Oh my God, if I was an army, they'd be losing so much money because I keep forgetting my dang gun in the woods. Where I put that freaking thing, I don't know. I look at a nice tree, turn back around, gun gone.
You'd want different outfits for every season.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
It's a little chilly. I need a little army sweater.
I do think you've stumbled on something though. I honestly think that's not a bad idea. Let's look at some budgets. Like, listen, like, why do the cops spend $5 million on horses? What are we talking?
God,
you guys better be having like little ride-alongs for the kids. Like, let's make some money, guys.
Yeah.
In fairness, it's only $4 million on the horses. It's $1 million on cleaning up the poopy.
They never clean up the. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm gonna have to rein it in. You're biking around. Just today. It's not funny, so we're gonna move on. But it's very
diapers.
upsetting.
I gotta get some horse diapers.
Yeah.
I think people forget that their taxes pay for stuff. Like you pay taxes, you get mad, you pay for taxes, but taxes pay for stuff. They pay for library, they pay for road, they pay for post office. Whoops.
The post office?
Where'd the letter come from?
Post office?
Yeah, those guys. And it's just
Porsche office would seem very expensive.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. That's a little bit much.
I
But
thought it was borscht for a second. I was like, oh, we're playing for some borscht.
it doesn't.
Party.
Look, the people understood me. Everyone at home nod if you understood me.
The
It's
proletariat
fine.
did.
It's fine. But your taxes are paying for something. It's not this money that goes into a black hole and that you never see again. Like you pay your taxes and you get goods and services out of paying your taxes.
Until
And,
the prime minister cancels those services.
I mean, yes, fair, but like that's the idea, right? So like this whole, we're kind of slowly adopting this American stance towards taxes where it's like, oh, taxation is evil and awful. And it's like, no, it's not. Taxes are great. I don't have to take my trash to the dump because someone comes and picks it up for me. I love that. Let me give him a little kiss on the lips. Thank you. Take my trash. I don't have to deal with this. I love you.
You've been told not to do that anymore.
No, that is why sexual harassment complaints.
That is why they do not pick up the garbage at your place, and you gotta scoot it over to your neighbor. You don't even go to your block. The truck's like, nope.
You know how like some little kids are obsessed with garbage trucks and they'll go running after the truck? It's that, but you, and they're like trying to get away so fast.
Look, it's
Just layer it on lipstick.
Come here, boys.
It's acts of service, great love language. What can I say?
You're not wrong.
But no, seriously, I think it's really easy to lose sight because you pay your money and you don't see how it's spent. Unless you research it, you forget that you're paying for something that is a public good that you like.
The only thing I would say, this is very victim blamey, but I feel like, and I don't know, like I don't know if I would have been able to solve this problem myself, but I feel like if you're the post office and it's like 2015, someone there has to be like, oh, a lot of people switching to online banking and stuff. I've noticed our mail volume. Like you got to find a pivot. You got to find like something. We're gonna do mail and blah blah blah. I don't know. Kissograms. I don't know. Like
That's so romantic.
You got to have something to pivot to, because
That's
otherwise.
how Megan will now kiss the garbage man.
Finally, I'll mail a little kiss to my garbage man, and
I
that's
know.
the name of my first comedy album. Mail a little kiss to your garbage man. I do think we piloted postal banking, didn't we? Was that not something we did? And I actually think that's a great idea, but it was a relatively small program, if I remember. They didn't expand it nationally. That's a great reason to go to the post office, do your banking. Another great reason to go to post office, you need cell phone, Roger's expensive. Like public utilities, internet, phones, like all of this. If you can get like a government provided utility service at the post office, I would switch my phone plan to Canada Post. Ring, mobile.
It's like
I would do that.
We'll workshop the
like
name.
a better version of
No. Ring. Nailed it.
No, one word.
One
Canada
take,
Post,
Jake.
ring,
Nailed it.
Cell phone. I believe that was the full. I love it.
I would switch. I mean, there's just I would rather my money go to a service like that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I know, like in other countries, they do exactly what you said. Like in Germany, you can do banking at the post office. You can do a lot of things at the post office, and obviously Canada has not followed in that footsteps on a large thing. The thing they did pivot to, I think that they were very dominant in the market for a while, was parcel delivery. And obviously in a world of Amazon and everyone getting everything delivered to their home, that was very big business. And apparently since 2019, they've just lost market share left and right. We're not a business podcast. We're not going to get into the details of why they're losing market share to FedEx or whatever. But it's one of those things that like that
Sorry,
has been
guys.
the. Sorry, I know you were waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, we just lost everybody.
Yeah.
Then what's the fucking point
Okay,
then?
I do think the reason they're losing market share is because they don't whip your package at your front door angrily. That's why I order things at Amazon. I want my shit to come broken because the delivery guy got mad at me for some reason. I don't understand. I want that.
Is it the kissing, maybe?
I am not the
is it
Amazon
maybe the
guy.
kissing?
Hold on, I'm not in bed with Bezos here. Okay, I'm all about the trashman. That's it. I have a type.
The Trashman.
All about the
Great
trash
band.
man.
I love the Trashman.
I love them.
And
yeah.
now from Leeds, the Trashman.
Get ready to hear some 4 blokes from Leeds sing with no accents whatsoever.
The number 1 single, please stop trying to kiss us, Megan.
So weird that the Beatles broke through and not the Trashman. That's so weird. The hell?
It's weird.
Yeah, so I mean, I do take your point now that there's a business thing here that is different, and it's a crown corporation. It's not a department the way like the Department of Defense is or Department of Foreign Affairs, but it does feel like in a world where we're the argument I've seen a lot of people make is, well, what were we supposed to do? Keep horse and buggy operators going when the car came out? Were we supposed to like keep telegram operators employed even after the phone? And I think those arguments, harsh as they are, make a lot of sense in a world where technology results in the deaths of some jobs and the creation of others.
Yeah.
But we're now in a place where all technology is doing is resulting in the deaths of jobs. And it's not creating the new jobs that either people transition to or their kids take up or whatever. We're just in a situation where we're just losing industries and we're not gaining new ones. And yeah, okay, AI, you can be one of 5 people monitoring the, data center or whatever. But if you're a mailman or mailwoman, you're not transitioning into AI technologies in all likelihood. I mean, maybe there's
not with that attitude.
fair enough. But you know what I mean? Like it's the idea that we got to prop up an industry that maybe doesn't make as much sense anymore because, like you say, people are moving on from letter writing and stuff and are going online with all their banking and everything else, and is a real argument. But the difficulty is when there's nothing to transition to. It's like maybe we do just got to prop businesses up. You know what I mean? Maybe
it's an essential service,
Yeah.
really. And I think you were right in the sense that we're becoming very American in our thinking about certain things. And it's just like not everything needs to make money. Some services can't. And those are just the things that the government has to support.
So, okay. All right. I like this. Let's fix this right here, guys. Okay. So
Dear Mark Carney.
there's nothing for them to deliver. So let's just have them pivot to something else. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the thing. You're the guy in the meeting
pitches.
being like, you're the network
I'm the
notes guy who's
synergy
just
guy.
like, what if it was the show
I'm
you're
the
pitching was
synergy guy.
different? And it's like, how would it be different? I mean, I'm not a writer.
If we can prop them up, but they're going to be really bored. Because otherwise, what are they, just delivering flyers?
I mean,
which
there's
is
a
not very
really
exciting.
that's true. There was a really interesting piece on the National. It was an about that sort of segment about how postal workers are kind of uniquely positioned to do like wellness checks on older people living in rural areas and that kind of thing. So if you start delivering mail and also folding this into like a social service program to
Love
make
it.
sure that old people are not
Amazing.
sad or other reasons. Other things can happen to old people. They can be not sad, other problems, and send people to check on them and make sure everything's good. Like that feels like a really valuable public good, in addition to continuing to bring me my precious electric bill, which I will not switch to online because I don't like their website.
Amazing. And then the best part about that is that you're doing wellness check for the elderly, and then eventually you get so old that one day you just stay there.
Oh my God, that's so romantic. That's
You just
beautiful.
end your shift there.
you just walk your last paper
Walk your last
God.
have a
take
seat,
off your jacket.
just have a seat and just shuffle up right next to
Slip fade to
Ethel.
black. That's nice. That's sweet. Nice.
Yeah.
We got it, guys.
I think we
nailed
solved it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good
I
job.
think we solved
You're
it.
welcome, Canada.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's what else I got. How about them Blue Jays?
Oh, I'm so excited.
for context for our listeners at home, if you don't already know this, we're in a situation where Claire, super Blue Jays fan, me, casual-ish Blue Jays fan, Megan, I don't believe follow the Blue Jays very regularly.
I love it. I think it's great when they catch and throw the ball. I think that's the best part of the game, if you ask me.
Better than hitting?
Well, hold on. I forgot about hitting. Damn damn it. Hold on.
And running. You can't forget running.
Well, running is...
After they hit, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes it's a light jog. If they hit it far enough, they don't have to run very fast.
Sure, yeah, and then they play jock jams on the thing, and I have to explain to my sister what just happened. That's usually what happens when I go to my annual Blue Jays game.
Yeah, I was listening to the game where they clinched. We were on our way back from a farm where we were doing apple picking, and I was on my way back, and so it's so cliche, I know, but it's two kids in the back seat, and they're listening to like Peppa Pig on like an audio speaker, and then I was like, I'm gonna throw on the Blue Jays game because I knew they were up big, and so in the course of the 30-45 minute drive, they hit like 4 home runs, and the horn was sounding, and my wife, who I love so much, was just like, oh, so they won? And I was like, oh no, baseball, there's 9 innings. It's not like, I mean, sometimes you can win on a walk-off, but this wasn't a walk-off. And she's like, but they sounded the horn. And I was like, oh, but that's the horn of home runs. And she was like, oh, I've been hearing, like, she works that down. She's like, every time I hear that horn, I just thought they won. And I was like, but
they won
you hear the horn
times.
4 times in an hour. And she was just like, I don't know, I just thought horn meant win. Because they do, in fairness, they do sound a horn when they win, too. I was going to say,
she's not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just
that's ambiguous.
It's just how she thought they were winning 5 times in an hour.
They just do 5 little mini games.
Yeah, it's a little tournament.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Just speed baseball.
First game to 1 point wins.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of like extra innings.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, that's our background on the Jays. For those, who were so they've made the postseason. They've won the division for the first time since 2015. They almost choked a 5-game lead down the stretch and lost to the Yankees, but they didn't. They hung on. They had the exact same record as the Yankees, but won because we had the tiebreaker, meaning we won more. In the head-to-head matchup, we beat the Yankees more than they beat us. 162
games, and every single one of them mattered at the end.
Good Lord.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they now get a bye past the wild card round, which started tonight as we record and continues tomorrow as people are listening, and will meet the winner of Boston and New York in the divisional series. So Claire, as the resident, Jays superfan, what was your favorite part of the year, other than just the whole thing and being awesome?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a couple things. And I think overall it can be summed up with the surprises, which are just like things like George Springer having the single best year of his career at 35/6 with the Blue Jays. I think he's hit more home runs than, he broke the franchise record for the number of home runs in somebody like 35 years and over. After having such a shit year last year, he's just become like the MVP this season. It's just been so fun to watch him do his thing and run the bases like he's being chased by wild animals. And I love that. And I also just think it's been so nice to see the smaller guys really come up and shine. Like the fact that we got Braden Fisher, who's a reliever for Cavan Biggio, and Braden Fisher came in clutch and so many times, like when he struck out Ohtani and he got Mookie Betts to ground out after Jeff Hoffman blew up against the Dodgers, and you have Mason Fluharty who's showing up to be such an awesome reliever. So it's just like the little guys and how much they mattered. It has never been. It's never been the Guerrero show. It's never once been just the Bo Bichette show. It's just been Ernie Clement coming in and being huge, a massive part of the team, and just like all of the smaller little guys just kind of making all these contributions. It's just been so nice. It's just been such a team of guys who love each other, and they're such a little brohood. And
it's like just, this podcast.
Exactly. It's just been nice. And Eric Lauer coming in and saving our asses halfway through the season. Nobody saw that coming. He was in like the Korean League last year.
Yeah, and didn't do well there.
No, and then he came here and has like the lowest ERA of any one of our starting pitchers. It's just, that has been a delight.
Yeah, that was such a great description of it all, and I love that. Multiple times during that, Nile looked at me to confirm those were real names. You were like, Mason Fluharty. And I was like, okay.
Also, I mean, I feel like right now, the first thing we need to be doing is scouring the Korean League. Am I understanding that correctly?
Apparently.
I mean, there's some damn good ball players.
There's more Eric Lauers out there.
Yeah.
And I think
some of them are actually Korean. Eric Lauer, not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just been so nice because I think the expectations coming into this year were just so low after last year just being so terrible. Like, my expectations for this year where you're just like, I hope Max Scherzer's arm doesn't disintegrate immediately upon throwing the first pitch.
Yeah.
And I hope Bo Bichette's hair still looks nice. Like, those were my expectations going into this year.
He had long flowing locks, and they are gone, and he did cut them.
Wait, can I go over my expectations for this year?
Yes.
I think Carlos Delgado is going to hit a homer.
Oh my God, good for you.
I was so sure you were about to say something Labubu. I was so sure that was coming, and I was ready to throw my microphone across the room.
A Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Labubu.
Labubu giveaway night was a big hit. That was my favorite part of the year. It happened in my apartment, but I loved it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I went to that. It was great. It was fantastic. I also think last week we talked about how the CFL should make the ball really big and then they should move it like ants.
Yes.
I think baseball, they should make the ball really small. And then whoever
Ping pong ball.
whoever finds it gets to be free because they're in prison in this version of the league. So it's like
The golden snitch of like,
This is amazing. And also, I think we could fold in something that Claire said. Just have wild animals chase them along the baseline.
God.
Who is
love
not watching
baseball.
that?
I am.
It's a tiny ball that you
With
shoot from a gun
lions.
because no one can shoot
like
it fast
just a
enough
bullet.
with the arm. It's a gun that you shoot, and then maybe you'll not be able to hit it. Okay, maybe the batter has the gun, and they
Okay.
shoot it out into the outfield,
on.
and then
Niall-
it's a scramble. And then
So hitting is
have
now
a thought.
shooting a gun.
No, wait,
it's a
wait,
tiny
wait.
ball.
Revision.
It's green. Okay, so
yeah.
that it's
Okay, I
right
like
in the
it's green.
grass,
That's
and then
fair.
you have to outrun the animals before they find the tiny ball.
Okay, slight edit.
Okay.
Everybody on the field has a gun, okay? One gun has the little green ball in it. Everybody shoots at the same time.
And you are
okay?
not allowed to shoot the wild animals.
You're
This
not
is like
allowed to
Russian
shoot animals.
roulette meets the Coliseum.
No, you can shoot the people.
You
And
absolutely
that's
can
no
shoot the
problem.
people.
The animals you can't shoot because that's awful. No one wants to watch that.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
That's true.
Yeah, and then whoever finds the little green ball at the end gets to be free, and they don't have to play another game.
Yeah.
Do you know the Savannah Bananas? They're like
love the
Harlem
Savannah
Globetrotters, but for
Bananas.
baseball? You should really write for them. You should really come up with some bits for them
You
to
should.
do.
I'm kind
They're
of
great.
available. Give me a shout, Savannah Bananas. It's great.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they pay, Writers Guild rates, but hey, get on it.
I mean, that's fine. So I know everything about baseball, so it'll be easy for
Yeah.
me.
There we go. So where we are now, as I mentioned, the Jays are waiting on the winner of the Red Sox and the Yankees. And if it's the Yankees, one little development story that happened today is the Yankees. So the series will start in Toronto and then move to New York. The Yankees have banned Canadians from buying tickets to the games.
Why are they allowed to do that?
Also, how can they do that?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll
You
tell
can't
you.
tell by a
I'll
credit
tell you
card, can you?
how. It's
Residency
because
on the-
listen, they invited Trump to their game like 3 weeks ago, and if you think that any Canadian's going to be able to buy a ticket to a game in New York again, we got to agree to be the 51st state. Like he told them something.
Yeah, he puts. Yeah, there was like
Caveats in there.
Yeah, it was a.
He gets to meet Aaron Judge, and no Canadians allowed.
Yeah, so what they've done is they've created, and they're not the first team to ever do this, but they've created residency requirements. So you have to fill out your address when you buy, and they have cookies and stuff checking that you're not just lying, obviously. And so if you are not in the area of like New York, tri-state area, plus a few others, they will not let you buy tickets. So it's obviously a way to stop Blue Jays fans from coming down, because obviously Toronto, New York, you can get down there pretty quick. And so for whatever reason, the Red Sox aren't doing this, at least not as of now. So they're very concerned about Blue Jays fans like taking over the stadium. So if there's any New York residents who want to help us out with buying some tickets and also put us up because we can't afford tickets and a hotel, we can figure this out. But yeah, so it's like there's ways to get around it, but they're trying to limit the number of Blue Jays
I
fans.
just feel like they're afraid to see what real fans look like.
Yeah.
Personally.
I do think we should go to the show, and you and Claire
I love
get
that you
to
call it a
go.
show.
Yeah.
I know,
See
me
the,
too.
see the
I love that
boys
too.
do a little show, and then I'm going to go to Canal Street and buy a bunch of fake purses, and that's what I'm going to do. And Niall, you can come with me. You're invited. You can go to the game.
Yeah,
if you
no,
want.
I definitely, after the game that we developed, I can't watch baseball. I can't watch regular baseball.
It's
like
too
knowing what it could
facile.
be.
Yes,
Okay, we're going to do a
exactly.
poll, and the listeners get to decide what this new version of baseball is called. Like
Gunball, right?
Yeah, okay.
Gunball.
Gunball? Gun dog ball?
Gunball gladiators.
Now, I would watch the shit out of some Gunball Gladiators. That is a very good name. I love that.
I mean, to be true to the traditions of baseball, you'd have to have like one league where there's a gun and one league where there's like a sword, and then eventually they merge.
That's true. That's
Oh
true.
my God.
But the sword league still gets to keep the sword, and the gun league still gets to keep the gun. And when they play each other, there's a gun and a sword.
I want George Springer to have a sword so bad.
I do think, like, all kidding aside.
Is that a spear joke? Yeah.
A little,
No. I just want to see George run with a sword.
Oh, okay.
all kidding aside, keep baseball exactly the same, okay? Give them a little ceremonial sword that they have to wear on their back the whole time. Very funny. Very good. It's just a little added flair to remind us of the past.
Yeah, it'll make foul balls interesting. It's just, the foul ball sliced off the sword.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's a good look.
All right, well,
Go Jays.
Go Jays.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, by the time our next podcast drops, they'll be in the middle, or maybe even they'll be in the middle of the ALDS. So.
And if anybody wants to give us playoff money,
yes,
let me know.
sign up for our Patreon. All of the money this month is going to one Blue Jays game. Take it. We need some extra though. Well, before we move on to our big closer of the podcast, a few quick words on how you can support the podcast. First of all, thank you so much for listening. If you'd be so kind, if you haven't already, jump on your podcast app of choice, leave 5 stars, leave a review, comment on the quality of our various Irish and other accents. That'd be great. Also, tell a friend, share some of our clips on social media. All of it would be wonderful and help us grow the podcast to be even better than it already is. And if you are so inclined to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/thebeaverton. Not only will you get our undying love, you will also get extended cuts versions of our episodes, where every week we talk about a story or two that we didn't cover on the main part of our podcast, excuse me. This week we get into the kneecap ban, as well as Ford banning the speed cameras, and things go off the rails pretty hard. So that's a fun thing you can check out if you want to see me absolutely lose it several times, or hear me absolutely lose it several times. And if you are a Patreon member listening to us, thank you so much. You are the reason we get to do this show, the reason the website still exists. We really, really appreciate it. And now it is time for the approximately 10-minute long quiz.
It's the approximately 10-minute long quiz, brought to you by Time.
Every week, I ask our panel to play the approximately 10-minute long quiz, where I put their knowledge of some less widely reported news stories to the test. Panel, our first game is Rapid Fire Jokes, where I'm going to give you a prompt, and I want as many jokes as possible. Favorite joke gets the point. Your question: U.S. states continue to try to get angry Canadian tourists back. If you were in charge of marketing for a U.S. state, what ad campaign would you run to lure Canadians to visit?
Meg?
I have some ideas.
Okay.
I think if you're Illinois, you say, well, if ice comes, we'll hide you in the bean.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And then if you're Maine, you say, come on down, we'll eat lobster in the rain.
Oh, that's very.
That's just a nice one.
That's just
That
a
is a nice one.
And
That's a
we'll
genuine.
hide you in the shell pile from ice.
Oh, okay.
Also, that's like in the
It's all
small
about ice.
print. It's
Yeah.
small print.
Yeah, it's all about various local landmarks that can be hidden
Sure.
people, hiding people from ice.
Well, that's why we're not going, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
that's
no,
why.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the whole 51st state thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
some of
yeah.
that.
And then if it's Florida, it's like if you have hate in your heart and Mickey ears on your head and $8,000 burning a big old hole in your pocket, come on down to Florida. You know?
Yeah, I like that.
I could do this all day.
Yeah, for
want me to
each
keep
individual
going?
state.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll do it. It's
South
fine.
Dakota.
South Dakota, risk it all for South Dakota. They got the Face Mountain, and we love it. We got the 4 guys on it, and they're our favorite guys. They're
Yeah.
real big on that, and come see them. And
Yeah.
we're South Dakota.
I never knew which Dakota had it. Now I know it's South.
Now
Good
it's
for
South.
Me.
There we go.
That's
Learned
the
something
one.
new today.
That's definitely, yeah, that can fit on a pamphlet.
Everything's bigger in Texas, including the ice cell you'll end up in. You want me to keep going? I got so many.
I mean, I don't hear Claire and Nile jumping in.
I wasn't sure the format of it. No, okay. I had an Idaho slogan, which was
okay.
it just says Idaho, Udaho. If you don't come here and buy our famous potatoes to use in your poutine, I feel like that's very Canadiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also a little insulting, which fits the American kind of theme that they're going for. I have come to West Virginia and star in your own version of The Hills Have Eyes.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's true.
There's that one.
Appalachia's crazy up
Yep,
in there.
yep.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd let Canadian visitors put their name in like a draw, and then every month, one person whose name gets drawn gets to name like a particularly hated politician, something super Canadiana, like I don't know, Beaver McMoose or something like that. I think that could be really fun for us.
Sure.
I'd put my name in that draw personally. I would like step across the border and just be like, yoink, and then leave. And then I think the governor of Washington should institute a policy where, yeah, you're going to get run over by a tank if you come here, but we're going to let you throw something at Marjorie Taylor Greene before you die.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice little going away present.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a pitch, all right? Every Canadian that crosses the border, free copy of Lonely Planet El Salvador. Huh? Right? Not bad. Not bad.
That's great. Hey, you
Okay.
could. That's true. You could get a free trip to El Salvador if you go to the U.S.
Yeah.
That's kind of a double vacation if you think about it.
Yeah. You're like
In a way.
backpacking now. You're seeing multiple countries in one trip.
It's
Florida?
incredible.
Disney-themed ice holding cells.
Sure,
Right?
sure. You
Right?
get a little no, not Daffy, Donald, the other one with no pants
Someday
on
my
the wall.
lawyer will come.
Totally.
Yep.
I mean, Nevada. It's already a gamble to come here. Why not make it double or nothing?
Oh. See, I was going for Nevada. I was like slot machines in the holding cells, right?
Hey,
You got something to do while you're waiting for your lawyer?
I mean, yeah, very holding cell centric, but that's where you're going to be spending a lot of your time, right? It's like people who are
And
like, I
a
don't
lot
need.
of your money. Click, cling, cling, click, cling, cling.
I mean, to leave broke and arrested would be, that's a rough
You
one.
can't leave arrested. That's an oxymoron. You stay arrested.
Well, you gotta come back for the arraignement. Unless you're an Israeli diplomat.
That's okay. Fair point. I got lawyered, everyone. Everyone calm down. I just got Luke lawyered.
I think for Hawaii, okay, all right, ice detention cages on the beaches of Waikiki.
Oh my God.
Just look out
Beautiful.
onto the
sunset.
beach while you're waiting
Yeah.
forever
like
to go to El
cages on
Salvador.
the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do like a
was thinking.
surfing lesson, but you can't actually surf. They just, you know how you start with the board on the ground and they
Yeah.
show you how to do the stuff? So they just give you the board and they
Sure.
teach you that part. You can't
And then
actually
they
get out
waterboard
there.
you?
And I was going to say, the
Sure.
cages are
Why
in the
not?
water, and as the tide goes up,
Got
depending
it.
on how tall you are, you might die.
Okay, okay.
Kind of like a little saw trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got another one,
Okay.
and I feel like people in the States should do this. Everyone who books a hotel, free ice uniform.
Oh my God.
So then you can just go around incognito. You don't get harassed because you look like one of them. Which, by the way, if you're in the U.S., buy a fucking ice uniform.
It's Halloween, baby.
Huh?
They're out.
I
Yeah.
just,
Go get 'em.
Just live your best life. No one's arresting you if you're like, this becomes a Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
They're all pointing at each
Everyone's
other.
pointing at everyone.
You're welcome,
Yeah, I
America.
think that's just a mask and a shirt that says, I have a tiny penis.
What I like about that is hotels are already known for free ice, so it works out well.
My God. You did not just say free ice on this podcast. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's where the line is.
Free them from the constraints of people being mean to them, I guess.
Whose side are you on?
I mean, yeah. I think I'll cut it off there. And for the with the Nevada one, I'm going to give that point to Megan. Well done.
Hell yeah.
Son of a...
I'm sorry. Our next question. Why was an apple picking farm forced to ban strollers this week?
I would say the damn babies kept stealing the Honeycrisp apples.
You're not far.
Oh, really? Oh, yay.
Forced to ban strollers. Oh, I'm gonna have a joke like 5 minutes after we finish this podcast.
I mean, we can
right
we can
over
edit
the
it
brain.
in. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
I'll come back.
I think they got sick of seeing those lazy babies sitting in their strollers getting pushed around like kings. I'm a farmer. I make apples all day. What do you do, baby?
True.
Yeah.
Poop your dang pants. Get up.
You know the
Stand up.
famous anti-baby
Child labor,
sentiment
child
from the
labor.
farmers.
Yeah.
You know how much they hate babies, those farmers.
I do not test well in rural Canada. We already know this, right? I'm
do you test well?
That's the focus groups. Yeah.
Big
Nevada.
internet. Where's your corner?
The
Nevada.
list is a bit short, but it's neat. I like to call it niche.
The dartboards of garbage men's like break rooms.
Well, the
Oh wait, I actually think I have the right answer.
Okay, give me the right answer.
I think I was coming up with a joke, and I'm like, oh my god, are people smuggling apples in the strollers?
that's absolutely what they're doing.
And they leave their babies like at the tree?
I was gonna say, do the
It's
babies,
a trade. It's a
like
trade.
we
do the
can't keep-
babies come in, or are they just taking strollers?
So that some people brought their babies and then they just put the apples around them, and I guess some people were just fully using the strollers as like, or they carried the babies home when they weren't in the stroller anymore.
Or they
the
like
car
fill
anyway.
up baby's pockets with like apples.
Those
It's like,
famously
he has a
large baby
condition.
pockets, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't do a poop. It's just all the diapers in his butt. Yeah.
He's got a 50-pound
Sorry, all the
diaper.
apples in his butt. Sorry.
50-pound diaper. What's going on there?
Yeah, nope. Yeah, you're 100% right. They were smuggling apples out of the farm without paying for them because you're supposed, as I know very well because I was just doing it. You're supposed to buy the bag, and that's how and the bag holds however many apples, and you fill that bag and you take it. So they don't have to count the number of apples you plucked, but you have the bag's worth. But people were bringing in. They also banned wagons. They banned people bringing in backpacks. All these
Tractors.
things. This is
Farming equipment.
Yeah. You couldn't bring in
Helicopters.
no BYOT. No bring your own tractor at the farm.
18-wheelers.
Yeah. It does seem like a lot of work to go through. Like, I mean, I assume this is just people doing it like, fuck it, let's take some more. But it does seem like a lot of work to do if your plan is to steal some apples. It's like, we got to drive 45 minutes
You
to the
gotta
farm.
conceive a kid.
You got to get a kid.
Fucking give birth.
Yeah.
Buy the stroller and probably a lot of baby
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, all for some Fujis that have worms in them already.
Yeah.
Every time you go apple picking, you get sick of eating apples like a day later.
Yes.
You're like, why did I do this? This is a romantic idea, and now I have all these fucking apples.
Yeah, because you're always like, I'm going to
make
make a pie or a
No, you're
crisp or
not.
something.
No, you're not.
No, you're
you
not.
know you're not. No.
Get freaking real. And now we're being like, you know what? I want more apples to regret. It's honestly like it's a lesson learned. Let them bring the strollers in and let them learn the hard way.
I remember Papa would tell me. Oh, wait, you guys aren't going to get that joke.
One day he left me in the apple orchard.
Looked at me with such disappointment.
If you're
Said,
not-
you are not worth it. I don't like apples this much.
If you're not a Patreon subscriber, these are Luke's children. This is a new character.
Characters? I feel like we're all in on it. We're all taking a little taste, I think.
Bye, Papa.
Our next question. Point to Nile on that one, not for the baby impression. Danielle Smith continues to try to increase Alberta's power within Confederation. She is now proposing legislation that would allow her to do what with respect to international agreements signed by the federal government?
Physically shove them up Mark Carney's ass.
Ooh.
Wow.
A visual, if there ever was one.
I thought it was to get them custom printed onto some toilet paper for herself. So kind of like seeing.
Very,
Yeah,
we're all
we're in
we're
the
in the
butt
wheelhouse.
range.
Thinking.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer. I'm just saying that she broke me, and I'm now pro separation of Alberta. Listen, I know it's not all the Albertans. You guys are nice people, but I can't listen. I can't hear from this woman anymore. Just fucking go. Just go. She's like that woman who's like, this party sucks, and you're like, they're at the party. Then just
Yeah.
leave the party. Let us play magic. Those are my parties.
Sounds
They're
like a
big
great
magic
party.
Yeah, your parties are ragers.
I'm
Fucking
in.
right.
You're in the wheelhouse. Does anyone want to give me the real answer?
Ignore them.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Sure.
The law would allow Alberta to ignore, which is like it's a thing that sounds like a big deal. Like we're going to ignore all the international treaties. It's yet another example of Danielle Smith being like, I'm standing up for Alberta, and secretly it doesn't change that much because like basically it's saying if the federal government signs a international treaty that infringes on Alberta's areas of governance, they don't have to listen to it, which was always the rule. The federal government can't be like, well, sure, we have this whole British North America Act that has division of powers, but if we sign an international treaty on healthcare, we can just tell them what to do. Like, that's never been the case.
Amazing.
So it's literally just her being like, but it
Posturing.
sounds good. We're going to ignore those liberal federal international legislations. And, you know, so it's just yet another example of like doing nothing but convincing Alberta you're standing up for them, which I would have thought she'd run out of ways to do that by now, but every day there's something new.
Yep.
Every fucking day. Just go.
All right, so everyone's on the board with 1 point now. Next game is Complete the Headline. Here's your headline. Kitsilano, BC community members come together to halt the removal of beloved local...
Just that. Nothing.
Beloved local?
Just a beloved local was removed. They were
It
going
was
to
a nice situation.
Yeah,
and they were like,
exactly.
no, stop the
Just one
removal
guy.
of the local.
Yeah.
I'm going to say free-range goat mayor.
Ooh, does seem very BC.
Yeah.
You're in the world.
Yeah.
I had Bonham West. And you don't want to know why they're removing him, guys. I don't want to even say it on this podcast. They can't bring enough bleach up to where the holes are, where it is now. So they have to move it so they can clean it.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I knew I shouldn't have said say it. But I couldn't stop myself.
No.
You
when
guys
Chekhov's...
Chekhov's Chekhov's bonum gets summoned.
When Chekhov's bonum's holes is introduced, you have to pay it off.
The little known.
Bonum holes. That's the name of my first comedy album.
No.
Yeah.
God, we're releasing twin albums.
Oh my God, love this.
Yeah. Does anyone know the real answer?
No, but I really want to see that play.
Okay, I'm gonna guess only because my friend just told me about this, and I love the fact that it existed. It's that store that has the goats living on the top of the roof.
Oh, I did not know about that. That is not the
called
right
Goats
answer.
on the Roof.
But I'm glad that it still
It's
exists.
like a general store, and that's where they live. It's fully grass. They've got cages. They've got like places to put them. They've got food.
That's
Everything.
great. I love all of that. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be underwhelming in comparison to that. But Kitsilano BC community members come together to halt the removal of beloved local giant log. It's a big old cedar trunk, which reaches almost 2 meters in diameter and 4 meters long.
Oh, wow.
It's been on the beach since the 70s, and it was supposed to be removed because it was causing damage to the seawall. But they rallied and they determined there was too much cultural relevance and it was too important to the community to remove it. And when I read that, I was like, losers. And then I saw the log and I was like, it's a pretty cool log. It's a pretty big, cool-looking log.
Okay.
And you know what? They're right, and I was wrong. My initial instinct was wrong. It's a cool log. I wouldn't want
I'm
it
gonna
removed
look up
either.
this log. I love
Yeah, I
this.
know.
It's a great log.
wanna-
Yeah. You can take photos on it. It's great for the gram.
Hold
Yeah.
on, but seawall seems like an important thing.
It does seem.
We kind of want it, don't we? We don't? Okay.
Nah.
All right. I'm convinced.
I love this bizarro world moment we just had where Meg was the serious responsible
I do
one.
not like it. I do not want to do it again. Do not make me be responsible. It's way more fun to talk about bonum.
No points on that one. Our last question. We're still tied 1-1. Last question. This is 2 news and a lie. I'm going to give you 3 stories. 2 of them are news. 1 of them is a lie. Here are your 3. Quebec refuses to allow school buses on road after manufacturer delivers them with signs that say stop instead of arrête. Supreme Court grants stay of execution for BC ostriches. Man deemed too drunk to fly arrested for drunk driving.
I mean, first of all, chapeau to you, because I can't tell. These are all all of them. I'm like, it could be any of them.
What was the first one?
Quebec refuses to allow school buses on road after manufacturer delivered them with signs that say stop instead of arrête. The signs that come out of the side when they're pulling over.
I'm gonna say the first one because it feels the most likely.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're guessing that's fake.
That's the fake one.
Got it.
A man too drunk to fly rides his car.
Was arrested for drunk driving.
Like too drunk to fly though, like as in like on a commercial airline?
Yeah, he tried to show up to the airport. They were like, absolutely not, get out of here, bud.
Right.
And then he got in his car and drove home.
What were you thinking? Just like Superman?
He wasn't flying the plane.
I thought he was
a
like being
passenger.
too drunk to like fly his own plane. And it gets,
Okay.
It's
yeah.
a fair point because when you say fly, it's an action verb. It implies he was flying the plane.
see.
No, he was merely to be a passenger on the plane.
I'm gonna agree with you. The arrête sounds
It feels very real.
yeah.
I think it's
Again, but you're guessing that's fake.
I know. That's why I'm picking
just
it.
checking,
I'm
just
picking
checking.
it because it feels very
feels
real.
too
So
real.
it feels.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
I think it's the ostriches because this country loves to spill ostrich blood. There's no way we would give them a stay of execution. We want to see those birds bleed. It's just that's got to be made up.
The ostriches is real. The man deemed too drunk to fly, also real. The Quebec one I did make up. Based on a real story that is happening in Quebec. Not about the sides, it's just that they're having issues with their buses. The ostriches situation is the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has been preparing to destroy the flock because there was avian flu detected. This has become a huge issue for right-wingers and sovereign citizens and all those anti-government fucks who believe it's like an example of like big government coming to get you. And they've set up surveillance footage so they can monitor the ostriches. They're furious at Pierre Poilievre for not standing up for the ostriches. This is such a great example of people living in different internet bubbles.
Yeah.
There are people listening to this, probably not, but there are right-wingers who, if they listen to this, would be like, what do you mean? That's the biggest story of the week. Why didn't you lead with the ostriches?
The food people. Why the food? What are we eating off of an ostrich? What part are
I don't
we
think
eating?
it's. I know it says Food Inspection Agency. Well, I mean, maybe I think you can eat the eggs. I don't think anyone eats the meat.
Yeah, people eat ostriches.
Yeah. So I think you eat the eggs, but I also think it's just a general like they don't want the ostriches to spread the flu to other.
I get that, but like, what? Like,
you-
who is keeping them to eat?
Yeah, you're
ostrich
wondering
eggs?
about their exact existence.
Yeah, why are they? Why are they here? I hate to say it, but go back to your home country.
Wow, there it is. There it is.
Full 180. We're on ISIS side now.
What was the over/under on Meg saying that one?
Wow.
Their eggs are basketball size. Like, have a normal omelet, you know? You don't need a huge egg
This
like
just
that.
in, Megan racist against ostriches.
Super
I
racist
have a
against
lot of
ostriches.
issues with different birds.
You should
and they
hear
will
her
come
off
out.
mic. It never ends. She's got an e-newsletter that she sends me. I just send it to my spam.
I put a lot of work into that.
I know,
newsletter.
mostly developing slurs for ostriches, which I find somehow very offensive, even though they're for the birds.
Freaking
Don't
lot.
say it.
I won't. Then I won't say it. Then I won't
Go ahead, say it. I want
freaking long necks. Frequent.
Oh, I was gonna say like lesser giraffes or something.
Oh, yeah,
both good.
freaking
Yeah,
giraffes.
You can hang out some
slurs.
ostrich slurs.
Oh yeah.
Often we do have multiple slurs. That's kind
What about triches? That sounds
Damn,
wrong,
that
right?
does
Fucking
sound
triches.
bad.
That sounds.
Aussies,
I didn't like that. That was
I know, right? You can,
Yeah.
you can just take the name and just mess around with it.
Well, at the end of our quiz, our co-winners are Nile and Claire.
And the losers are you, the listener.
Nile, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yes, I have a good news podcast called Total Annihilation. That's a good time.
Awesome. You can plug the ostriches have lived. That's good news.
There you
Unless you're Megan.
Let me,
other
let me
people.
scribble some notes.
Terrible
Yeah.
news for me.
Claire.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at It's Clare Blackwood and Blue Sky at Clare Blackwood.
Awesome. Megan MacKay.
Where am I? Oh, sorry, podcast, right? Okay, I'm on
Jesus.
Blue Sky at MMMEGAN, and I'm in the studio right now, and this is real.
Oh, and you're also at notriches.rs.
Yeah.
/ they lied.
It's really actually hard to get the .rs, but I talked to the Kremlin and they gave it to me.
Nailed it.
Which is great. They also hate ostriches.
Well, if you'd like a newsletter that doesn't deal in ostrich hate, you can sign up at thebeaverton.com/newsletter. Yeah, I segued. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week, same time, and have a wonderful week. Talk to you then.
The Beaverton Weekly Report is produced by Andrew Rivamy in partnership with the From Superheroes Network. Visit FromSuperheroes.com to hear more great podcasts like this.